Big welcome back, everybody, to NFL Fantasy League One, presented by Someday. We are joined by Marcus G, Taylor B. This is Young Scarrett himself. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the early rounds of our Fantasy League One draft. Big welcome, everybody, to Fantasy League One, the premier fantasy league in all the land.
Our pick's going to be so awesome.
A lot of people like to talk about, like, oh, we have the best fantasy league ever. You know what? We're going to go out there and we're going to show you.
I'm here to crush dreams.
With the first overall pick, Candace Patton.
Saquon Barkley.
Oh. She wants to go high. I want to go with my heart.
I can't even hear myself think. Candace will not shut up.
Albert Wilson.
Bird alert.
Bird alert.
The bird alert is off the board.
So you are funny.
Yeah.
I think Albert Wilson could do something really good when he comes back from injury. And like 100-round player.
Bobby Woods.
Bobby Tree's off the board, huh?
That's right.
Bobby Woods to the
Over
fantasy
Thielen?
footballers.
Yes.
Over Thielen.
He's saying that Robert Woods is more than a Thielen.
Oh,
Well,
we quit. Yeah.
Make sure you know how to spell her name correctly for the trophy.
Duval.
Andrew Luck.
There it is.
He's going to be fine by week 1.
Oh, we got to do a cool high five.
Fantasy-
Oh, it's going to be the best high five of all
footballers.
time.
Deserves one of these.
Chris Carson.
Oh,
What in the world?
What's up, man?
Base plan takes Tom.
That was a good take.
What's on their queue? Can you look at the fantasy footballers queue real quick?
Man, I'm feeling iffy, but I'm feeling good at the same time. I got Patrick Mahomes. That's all I need.
Candace is up for 2 picks.
I have to.
Do it in a flash.
Got her.
There's nothing else around here that I like right now. We're gonna go meh Ryan.
Tony Khan has sent him here specifically to help out with his draft. 23rd overall, Leonard Fournette.
Are we up yet?
AEW. You thinking championship?
Yeah, I'll be donating to the charity of my choice with that prize money.
Marlon Mack goes to Marcus Grant.
I watched him catch a pass in a preseason game, so like he's good.
That's
now.
exciting.
Insider information here. I saw Graham hovering his
Hollywood,
mouse
you're up.
over the draft button on Marlon Mack.
I almost pulled the trigger.
Whoa,
And
man.
yes,
Ricky.
I was cheating.
That's the worst job, is to be the sticker guy at a fantasy football draft.
Oh, we have stickers?
You're doing a great job, though.
Well, that was a lot of fun. That was a fun draft. I know that we all had some laughs, mostly at Desi Banks' expense for not only having Antonio Brown, having Albert Wilson in the 4th round. So he might have to dig into the waiver wire. But Taylor, I'll start with you. What was your favorite pick of the early rounds?
Well, first of all, the hostility over the hula hoop incident is
Oh,
just
would
never
you
going
let
to
it
go
go?
away. It's never going to go away. I'm sorry.
Goodness,
I'm
I
sorry.
was vindicated.
Okay. I don't know about that.
Vindicated.
But obviously, my favorite pick from the early round is Ezekiel Elliott. When I got that news 2 days ago that he had signed his contract,
Yes.
I woke up on cloud 9. I'm telling you what. I know that people are concerned that he might be a little bit rusty since obviously he hasn't been with his team. He's been in Cabo, but all the while he was in Cabo, he was training. This isn't a running back that gets rusty.
You're a world traveler. You're always training when you're on vacation, right?
Well, I'm not Ezekiel Elliott, okay? But no, this isn't a running back that gets rusty. We've seen when he missed 6 games a couple of years ago, obviously with a different reason because of suspension.
Right.
But his first game back, he had 28 touches.
Yeah.
Had over 100 yards from scrimmage. He's golden. He's good
So
to go.
no hesitation this week in
He's
starting
spent
him.
enough time with this offense to know it, where it's
That's true.
it's not a new system. He's Graham.
I did notice he got a few extra nose rings from Cabo. He
Yeah.
came back, he
Wow.
got a few extra nose rings, so he did get that done at
Like
least.
every
Well,
other Gen Z
In between
person.
workouts, that's what he was doing.
Popping in some new nose rings. He's got the bull ring. He's trying to pull
Yeah.
Kamara. Kamara's got the bull ring in his nose.
You know what though? I mean, like you can't train 24 hours a day, and you are in Cabo. It's like if you're,
Why
you're on a
not?
working vacation. I
Surprised he
guess,
didn't come
so
back
to
with
speak.
some braids too, cornrows and that.
Oh, that would have been pretty sweet. What about you though? What was your favorite pick?
Yeah, my favorite pick was Tevin Coleman in this draft.
I said favorite.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I mean, okay, no, please. I want to hear this. This should be interesting.
No, Tevin Coleman was great. I mean, for me in this league, I started with 4 I had 3 receivers and took a tight end and took George Kittle in the 3rd round. So I was kind of desperate for a running back, and I was really happy that Tevin Coleman fell to me into the 5th round. I mean, I'm always investing in Kyle Shanahan's running backs. In fact, over the last 4 years, his running backs tandems have finished top 10 in yards from scrimmage in each season. 49ers have the easiest slate of rush defenses per Warren Sharp's metrics this season, and it'll start with a great one this weekend. I don't think Coleman's going to be a league winner for me in this league per se, but he's one running back that I have that I actually feel comfortable.
Do you have Matt Breida?
I don't, unfortunately.
Ooh, that's going to be a shame. What about you, Marcus?
I'm going with John Smith. I mean, Juju Smith-Schuster.
Juju. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's his given name. Look, and it's getting Juju in the second round that I really like, but on top of it, it's because I was able to pair him with DeAndre Hopkins. So I've got two guys that have the potential to be not only top 10, maybe even top 5 wide receivers in the first couple of picks there. The opportunity is going to be great. We saw even with Antonio Brown, or without Antonio Brown last season, how well Juju was able to perform. So I'm really excited about that one.
Yeah. We got some highlights of the later rounds of our draft. Let's take a look at that. I don't know if you peeped my roster at all, because this is what I do is I come out and I win championships.
I like that.
Your 9th-round receiver is going to outscore your 4th-round receiver.
All right, we're going to pull a Marcus. And
Pick a bad player.
Draft a running back we don't really want to.
All right.
But someone's got to draft Shady McCoy.
I don't have a backup quarterback. I don't need one.
I'm feeling good. I'm going to go with Jalen Samuels.
All right.
What are we doing? Let's get our guy.
That's
Is it
what I'm
ninth
doing.
round, and is it officially get your guy?
Dude, I'm going to get my guy in like the round 7.
I'm going to go Duke Johnson.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Oh, wow. That was a wow of disgust.
Get
Oh, wow.
your guy.
That's a get your guy moment, isn't
2
it?
Browns. I've got 2 Chargers.
I know. How are you going to
Don't
explain
throw
that?
hate
How are you
across
going to
the table.
explain that you have Browns on your fantasy football
I'm
team?
all 32. I represent everybody.
Okay. If I win, you got to cut your beard off.
I'm gonna let.
I should actually be nice and say don't do this. This is like when the bartender takes your keys.
Don't do this.
It's like you should not do this.
You should do it.
I call you a
Kareem
lift.
Hunt.
Oh, all right.
That's solid.
I'm taking Golden Tate.
Golden Tate.
Well, you got Kareem Hunt out 8 games and Golden Tate out 4.
Solid.
Ricky Hollywood, more like Ricky Slaughterwood, am I right?
All right, Kane's
All right.
going to make his last pick, and he's going to auto-pick these.
No, I'm still not auto-picking. I'm just not going to do it on here.
Desi goes David Njoku.
See, you really turned your ship around. You really have.
Kane is doing a radio interview, but is still drafting on the app. That's how easy the all-new NFL Fantasy app is.
Candace,
Jackie
not
Ward.
only a great actress, also a very great judge of NFL teams.
Oh, no.
Tony Pollard.
I told you there's spies everywhere.
Yeah.
I am a little worried about your bench. It's got a lot.
Are you?
My bench is so stacked.
See our lineup? And we got Tom Brady. Can't go wrong.
Or do you want Goskowski?
No, ew,
Goskowski?
gross. I'm gonna take Ghost. I tricked you. You didn't think I was gonna, and then I pulled the trigger.
Damn it.
I know.
I have so many league winners on this team. There's just one thing I'm missing. Hello, Lamar
Ooh,
Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. That's
Welcome
okay.
to the rank and file. It is time for Trading for Success, presented by Panini. And we're going to be talking about a couple of guys, a couple of trade targets you could be looking at before the games even start. And the first one we're going to throw out there is a guy who's on my roster, Cooper Kupp. First of all, you're not getting him. You're not getting Cooper Kupp.
I was going to say,
So
can I put
don't-
together a deal for
But I
Cooper
think
Kupp?
that we're trying to help out some other people out there about a player that you could go out there and look at that. Cooper Kupp, to me, he was damn near the Rams MVP last year. What are your feelings on Cooper Kupp?
Love him. He obviously is Jared Goff's, safety blanket, a security blanket. They had a very good rapport. He's a guy who just gets open, right? He's not extremely fast. He's not the biggest guy, but he finds a way to get open and has quality hands, and very well could end up leading the Rams in targets if he stays healthy.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. I feel like he is Jared's go-to guy, and he was injured obviously last season, but when he did play, he played 8 games. He had 6 touchdowns, and really if you take out that last game
The Denver
when he
game.
got injured, it's really 7 games. So he had 6 touchdowns in 7 games, 566 yards, and something else that I think is really great about him is that he's a slot receiver, and it's very rare to have like a dependable, reliable slot receiver that's also very strong in the red zone, and that's what you have in Cooper Kupp.
I was going to mention that because the Rams don't really have a tight end. They use Cooper Kupp as their red zone target, and he's actually seen at least 1 red zone target in 19 of his 22 career games.
Yeah.
That's incredible consistency for just a slot receiver. I mean, he just gets all this opportunity.
He and Jared Goff were roommates, and so you
Right.
can just kind of see that bond and that relationship when they're on the field together. And you can tell that Jared's got some, like a security blanket, like you said, and got this comfortability with Cooper Kupp. So he's definitely somebody.
All right.
Well, I mean, actually, maybe you should trade him. I really think he could struggle this year.
I wasn't going to trade him before. Now I'm definitely not trading him. But if you want to dazzle me with some sort of trade offer.
I'm still salty you took Duke Johnson ahead of me.
Oh, I know. Listen, I'm so sorry that I'm good at
about
fantasy football. That is really my fault. I apologize for being that way. How about another guy that a lot of people could target right now who has not made a huge impact? Will Fuller. I think he's long on ability, but there's some questions with me. Why would you want to trade for Will Fuller?
11 touchdowns in 11 career games with Deshaun Watson. How's that sound?
How many seasons has he played in the NFL?
Sure. That's the problem with Fuller is his availability has not necessarily been his strong suit, but when he's been on the field, he is legitimately a game changer for this Texans offense. And Adam, I mean, now they can run out Will Fuller out of the slot. They can move Kenny Stills on the boundary, move DeAndre Hopkins around. This Texans offense, like in terms of just their skill position players, and I mean, they can line up wherever they want. It's such a great situation.
I was going to say, I think that another big plus for him is that they're going to be covering DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, yeah.
So he's going to have single coverage all year, I would think. And so the fact that he is going to have that ability to be able to get open and not be double covered is going to be huge.
Does Duke Johnson help out that, or does he hurt? Does he take away targets?
Will Fuller doesn't need a lot of targets to go off in fantasy. I mean, all we need is like 2 or 3 deep targets and him to connect on one to be a league-winning, weak tilting player. I do think Duke Johnson will take a few of those underneath targets away from Kiki QT, but I don't think it really hurts Fuller too much.
I will say with the Will Fuller thing, it's sort of a case study, though, in roster construction and whether or not you want to be aggressive or how risk-averse you are, just because if you have players on your roster that are sort of injury prone, you don't necessarily want to add Will Fuller to that, but if you feel like you've got some consistent players elsewhere, then I think that's worth taking that risk because of the home run
That's
ability.
A great point. Like if you start your league with Juju Smith-Schuster and Odell Beckham and Fuller's your third receiver, that's fantastic.
Right.
Yeah.
That is a pretty good
the
value.
Upside, he's kind of like a Josh Gordon upside.
Okay, well, I think it seems like Cooper Kupp is the known quantity. Will Fuller, you might be able to sneak in, but you want to do it before week 1.